can't really do an entire collection only on the concept of sustainability. We were in lockdown, we had to boil like thousands of snakes to get to the violet color. It's our responsibility. We can't change the past, we can only influence the future. Hey, what's up? Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Raluca Docan. I graduated from the National University of Arts in Bucharest, Romania in the class of 2020 with a degree in fashion design. I was top of my class and I got the highest score there is, a 10 out of 10 at for my fashion, my final fashion collection. I thought that the time was finally due to talk about this experience, the final project, to talk about the work that went behind it, to explain a bit my creative pathway of which I took to get to this result. I feel like it would only be fair for me to first describe how the exam usually looks like in Romania, just so you can get a better grasp of how the process looked like and how it was actually structured. I was part of the unlucky generation, the one of the class of 2020, because usually every student gets to do a collection, a physical collection of 6 to 10 outfits that we get to present on a fashion show on the grounds of the university. But what happened was that we were in lockdown. It was very difficult, almost impossible for us to enter the university, to get to the workshop, to use the sewing machines, to get our fabrics and everything in between. So we got to a compromise and we actually had to do only one physical piece, which you can see behind me, part of it. And also the other pieces were supposed to be very well represented in technical as well as artistic sketches. We had to do a 50-page essay of our collection. We had to present the fabrics, the ideas, the concepts, the sketches, and the whole entire process, basically the inspiration and so on. And we also had an oral exam about the costume history. What I think tipped me over the edge of in regards to my grade, I also did a fashion video of my one physical piece of my collection, and I'm gonna link it somewhere up here, and maybe you're gonna see it also on the screen. And I feel like this was something that really showed to the jury that I'm more than just a fashion designer, I'm more than just the sketching artist. I also can imagine like a whole scenario for a video and combine the music and everything. My number one goal for this collection was to do something sustainably different. I wanted to bring the focus onto the problem of the enormous pollution that goes on in the fashion industry, to the enormous amounts of waste, and just to get an example out there of how you can actually reduce this kind of waste with some ideas and some inspiration for the future designers out there, because it's our responsibility. We can't change the past, we can only influence the future. So my collection is called Upcycled Fairytale. As you can see, there are two main concepts merged together in this title. Upcycled comes from the umbrella term of recycling, which includes, I think, upcycling and downcycling. And upcycling means creating something that's more valuable than the sum of the materials and the fabrics and everything recycled that you put into it. In my case, I sourced some clothes from vintage shops here in Romania, and I decided to turn them into red carpet worthy outfits. This was my main focus, but you can't really do an entire collection only on the concept of sustainability. You have to create something that has a story, and sustainability is just not enough. So what I've added was the fairy tale part, which actually talks about the influences of the Renaissance in this collection. When you think about fairy tales, you think about Renaissance. You think about Finestrella sleeves, you think about patterns and gorgeous volumes. One of the challenges that I experienced while creating this collection was with the sourcing of the second-hand clothes. Because I wanted to source them locally, I wanted to choose them by hand. It was pretty difficult. It was the pandemic after all, to get something that's really cohesive, like pieces that are meant to be together. I managed to narrow it down to some aspects that I wanted all the clothes to share. I chose three main colors for it that go very well together: green, purple and blue. They are neighbors on the color wheel, so this means that they work very well together, they harmonize each other. And when you think about these greens, purples, blues, you think about royalty, right? Because I know that purple was such a difficult color to attain in the 15th century and all throughout history actually. It was very, very pricey. You had to boil like thousands of snakes to get to the violet color, and you only got like a very, very small amount of violet. Only the aristocracy had access to this sort of color. There were some fabrics that I lacked, and my professor coordinator was really, really kind and just shared some of her fabrics with me, which I think this is something that I would like to see more in the fashion industry. I would like to see more of this collaboration that leads to less and less waste. The textiles to be not thrown away when there's no need for them anymore, but to be lent or to be shared with the community. Also, as I have mentioned previously, another way to make this collection look more structurally cohesive was for all of them to have prints or pieces of fabrics that are braided together. And also, for the purpose of building on the same direction, I added pleats and ruffles to all of them. They have some very special pleats that look like some sort of natural, organic shapes. I'll add a picture somewhere up here. And finally, I focused on this transition from the old to the new. In the Renaissance times, there were certain values that had to be represented through these outfits, but in today's times, we have different values. I have studied this and I have looked through sociology reports and all of this, and I came across the fact that a very important part in our society is creativity. It's very important for us to have the means to express ourselves freely. And also, I wanted to take advantage of the technical advances that we have gone through in the past centuries and take the focus a bit off the practical values. For instance, like the mercenaries from the German army used to have some cuts in their sleeves for better movement and better handling of the arms. Right now, as the physical power turns to being less important than the mental power, I feel like we can really focus on the aesthetic values. We can experiment more, we can play more, we can discover new ways of styling this. So this is why you're gonna see for instance, collars that have turned into sleeves, or sleeves that have turned into collars, or pants that are now tops, or jackets that are now the central piece of a dress. And the Finestrella sleeves are not only Finestrella sleeves right now, they're also Finestrella skirts, for instance. I have to admit that while working on this collection, there was never a ascending trend that only goes up. I had ups and downs. Things didn't always go as planned. I have here all the sketches that I did before the actual main artistic sketches. There are about 50 of them. There were lots and lots of ideas that I sent through my coordinator, and that the coordinator ended up declining. I always had to be wary of the materials that I had and of the clothes that I had sourced. I feel like the best tip that I could give you is to build on a strong foundation. It's like building a house. You can't add the furniture and the wallpaper and the floors without having the structure of the house. So the structure is made out of the main themes that you want to represent through your collection. And this comes by doing many sketches. This comes by reading and showing your professor your sketches along the way and being open to suggestions. And also keeping in mind the main aspects that you want to employ all throughout the collection, the aspects that you want to use in each and every outfit in order to be cohesive. Yeah, I think that's about it for my final project. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I wish you lots and lots of luck and creativity and inspiration if you are by any chance a student in a final year trying to finish their final project. I know that it's hard, but once you get to the end of it and look back, it's so fulfilling, so wholesome. It's such a nice feeling just to be able to see the progress that you have made, to see how the sketches that didn't relate one to another are now like best buddies. If you want to see more of these videos, I really want to share more of my projects with you. So give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and I'll see you on my next video.